We have former FAA safety inspector David Soucie joining us now. David, a lot to talk to you about in the skies, but let's start with this incident on that flight. You have for so many years in this country a lot of concern about perhaps terroristic incidents happening on planes, but in the COVID era, it's actually been a lot of disruptive passengers, perhaps disturbed passengers. When you see and hear what happened there, do you think that was handled the way that it should have been?
Actually, I think it's a really good sign of what should be and what was tried to be handled, at least with an unruly passenger. So you can see that they try to calm him down at first. They try to get him calm. It's just not going to happen. Then he continues to yell, was not truly a threat to the crew until he left his seat. At that point, it really says a lot about the passengers that helped subdue him, because there's only a couple of flight attendants, maybe 3 flight attendants, and trying to get them down to control this person would have been impossible. So as a passenger, the passenger stepped up to this. I think that was really a smart thing for them to do.
And there have been a host of other issues in the skies recently. We've been talking a lot about the travel disruptions, whether it's a bird strike or severe turbulence or issues with planes on the tarmac, but particularly with planes on the tarmac. This is a place where there are questions about who's responsible and what can be done to fix it. You've said the only way to prevent these types of incidents is to slow this system down. Who is going to actually make that happen?
Well, the FAA has to step forward and start setting some guidelines. Currently, the FAA sets the minimum standards. So what they're saying is, if you show them the numbers and you can show safety in this amount of departures in a certain amount of time, then that's what they allow you to do. But the onus of responsibility really comes down to the airlines to say, when do we say enough is enough? Can we pack so much in tight that we start making mistakes? And I think that is one of the root causes for why we're seeing more and more of this right now, is that they're under a lot of pressure to try to get more airplanes and make up for those losses that they had during the COVID era. And so they're really pushing things forward. I think, again, they need to step back and look at how long does it really take to move these airplanes? Did they have all the people necessary? Were they fully staffed to do it? And be able to say no when it's time to make that airplane leave and say, we're at our capacity, we've had delays, and we're going to just accept what we have now and just slow things down a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's a lot of airline demand and some staffing issues, but safety clearly has to come first here for passengers throughout the system. David Soucie, we have to leave it at that, but thank you very much for all of your insight into that.
And the